I'm over here at this little ashram that is in the process of being constructed, about 19 kilometers or so east of Uttarkashi, northern India. And an ashram is basically a spiritual place where, whether you're a hiker, traveler, or a sadhu, or anyone who just wants to come to India and experience the humble lifestyle, and if you need a place to sleep for a couple days, and you need something to eat, that's pretty much what they supply for you, which is about all we need anyways, other than good company with good people. So I've been at this ashram for not too long, and I want to tell you a story about these three men that I met. And a sadhu, by the way, I'll put it in my own words, you can look it up, S-A-D-H-U. A sadhu is basically a human being who no longer wants to be stuck in this imprisonment of the mind, the negative energy, the desires, the unfulfillment, materialism, the blah, 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 that most of us, unfortunately, we're trapped in, are trapped in, will be trapped in. So sadhus travel with, real sadhus travel with virtually nothing. They are given food, shelter along the way. If it begins to rain, they find a rock to sleep under. And so anyways, there was one day I was out in the river doing my daily meditation, which this is the Ganga River, by the way, which I believe is considered the holiest river in India. I could be wrong, maybe the second holiest river, but it is definitely a place where the Indians out here will tell you that it has wonders whenever you go inside of it. And I've been inside of it quite a few times doing my cold water meditation, and there's something different about this water. This is the temple right here, by the way, where there's temples all over India where people go, they worship, and they give praise and thanks and whatnot. So on the other side of this temple, I was over down the river, and these three sadhus were sitting on the side, and as I was coming out, one of them invites me to come up and sit. Two were sadhus, one was an agori. And so sadhus were orange, agoris were black, and one of the sadhus was about my age, give or take. Another one was probably around, or the agori was probably around 50 or so. And then the other sadhu was probably around like 7 years old. I mean, he had a long gray or white beard, long white hair. And so I sat down with them. They didn't speak any English, and I speak very, very, very little Hindi right now. And we basically just hung out but this is the thing that blew my mind. Like, so there was maybe a stretch of 5 minutes where me and the younger guy, we exchanged some Google Translate here and there, but it wasn't anything that we're worthy about talking. And so as I'm sitting there and watching these guys talk to each other, and it wasn't always a non-stop talking, maybe 5 minutes of talking, 5 minutes of silence, 2 minutes of talking, 5 minutes, give or take, da 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 da. And every time one of these guys would say something, the other two would crack up laughing. And I could tell sometimes they were, busting on each other, or, give each other a hard time. But every time, I'm not kidding, every single time one of them talked, all three would start laughing. And this went on for over 4 hours straight. So as I was sitting there, I couldn't help but just smile this entire time. I couldn't help but laugh every time they laughed, because it was so infectious. It was such a strong energy, strong positive energy. And these guys had barely anything. All they carry is a little blanket, they got their clothes, and maybe a couple necessities. And the 4 hours that I sat there just laughing and smiling was one of the most beautiful moments I ever had. And that was before, at one time, towards maybe about 3.5 hours in, the older man, I happened to look over, and he was sitting down, how Chinese and Indians, how they sit on their feet, crouched down, and he was sitting down, and I see him looking up into the sky with this smile, this overwhelming smile. And I look up, and he's just looking at clouds. Not just looking at clouds, he's looking at clouds. And he says something to his friends, and they all look up there and they all start laughing and they're all staring at the sky. But the look that was on this man's face, to see a child open up a Christmas present that they've been wanting is not as beautiful as this look that this man had looking up at the clouds. Just simple awe, and I can't even explain to you what he was going through. All I can tell you is that I don't think I've ever seen another human being so happy to see something considered so little. And I will never get that image out of my mind of this old man with a smile that can cripple an angry person in seconds because of how beautiful it was. And that's the life these sadhus live. A lot of them, some don't make it there, but a lot do, to where we don't need anything. They are living proof that life is beautiful in every single moment. Whenever we are stuck outside of here, and we're stuck around the rest of the existence, life, we need nothing. We need absolutely nothing. And you can find these sadhus all over India, especially, the Himalayas. I don't know much about the rest of India, but for now, where I've been in the Himalayas, and it would be a beautiful place for anyone to come and visit. Not because of the views, because you can see beautiful views anywhere around the world, but the people are so amazing. They are still down to this earth. They're not troubled yet by technology and materialism and desire and expectations and So I just wanted to let you guys know about these three men that I met, because they are living proof that as long as we spend as much as we can throughout our life, every day, trying to do what we can to break free from all this negativity and all these things that don't matter, and just be happy with what we have. Obviously the stuff we've heard a million times over, but I'm telling you, if you would have seen the look on this man's face, you would know that it's all real. So this is my first video here next to Uttarkashi, and I'll be heading to Delhi soon, but I'll be making some more videos soon, sharing my experiences with you guys, and kind of how it's helped me helped me along the way as well. So